Most men don't say "I love you" the way you expect. In fact, when a man is deeply in love, he speaks a whole different language. It's hidden in casual words, quiet moments, and subtle phrases that reveal everything, if you know how to hear them. Today, I'm breaking down 7 powerful things men only say to the woman they truly love, and trust me, number 5 hits different. You see, love isn't always loud. Some men are never going to write you poetry or serenade you in the rain, but that doesn't mean they don't love deeply. In fact, it's the opposite. When a man feels emotionally safe, respected, and truly invested in you, his language changes. He doesn't just talk, he communicates, he reveals, he connects. So, if you've ever caught yourself wondering, is he really in love with me? Pay close attention to the way he speaks when no one's watching, because these 7 phrases, they're not just words, they're emotional confessions in disguise. 1. I've never told anyone this before. This one sentence might seem simple, but it's incredibly profound, especially coming from a man. See, most men are raised in a world that subtly tells them, don't be too soft, don't cry, don't overshare, don't be too emotional. Vulnerability becomes a threat, and for years, sometimes decades, men learn to build walls so high, even they can't see over them. So when a man looks at you and says, I've never told anyone this before, you're witnessing something powerful. You're watching him break down a wall that's been up for years. You're not just a listening ear in that moment. You're his safe place. You become the person he trusts, with the parts of himself that feel fragile, raw, or even painful. Maybe he's opening up about a childhood struggle. Maybe it's a fear he's never voiced. Or maybe it's something he's ashamed of. Something he fears would make someone else run. But if he tells you anyway, that's his heart speaking louder than his ego. He's not just letting you in. He's handing you a part of his emotional identity. And the truth is, men don't do that unless they're falling hard. So if you've ever heard this phrase from a man and felt the weight of it, good. That means you get it. You're not just someone he cares about. You're someone he feels emotionally safe with. And that to a man is rare. 2. How was your day? And he actually listens. At first glance, this question might seem routine. We hear it all the time. At the grocery store, from coworkers, even from strangers. But when a man who loves you asks this question, it hits different. It's not a formality. It's not filler. It's a window. When a man is emotionally connected to you, he doesn't just want to hear about your day. He wants to experience it with you, even retroactively. He wants to know how that meeting went because he knows how nervous you were. He remembers that you were going to lunch with a friend you hadn't seen in a while, and he genuinely wants to know how it felt to reconnect. He listens for your tone, watches your eyes, and reads between the lines to spot what you don't say. And here's the key, he remembers. Days later, he might bring up something small you thought he forgot, like asking, did that headache go away, or whatever happened with your boss? That's not just sweet. That's emotional investment. It's his subtle way of saying, your world matters to me. I'm thinking about you even when you're not around. I don't want to just know what's happening. I want to be a part of it. When he listens without checking his phone. When he remembers the tiny details you casually mentioned. That's not small talk. That's love in action. 3. We'll figure it out together. Life isn't a fairy tale. It throws curveballs, stress, confusion, uncertainty. And here's the truth. Most people run when things get hard. It's easy to love someone when everything's going great, when the bills are paid, your health is perfect, and there's no stress in sight. But you'll know a man loves you by how he shows up when life gets real. When he says, we'll figure it out together, what he's really saying is, I'm not just here for the good times, I'm here for the storms too. Maybe it's financial struggles, maybe it's family pressure, a career crossroads, or a personal crisis you didn't see coming. But when he looks at you in the middle of all that and doesn't flinch, that's a man who's emotionally committed. He doesn't give you solutions right away, and he's not pretending to have all the answers. What he is doing is choosing you over and over, through the stress, through the doubt, through the chaos. He's anchoring you to something solid when everything else feels like it's falling apart. That phrase, "we'll figure it out," means he sees your problems as shared, not separate. He's no longer thinking in you and me language. He's thinking us. And in a world full of people who love temporarily, a man who stands with you through the tough stuff, that's a man whose love is real. 4. You make me want to be better. Now this is not about guilt or pressure. It's about inspiration. When a man loves a woman deeply, something shifts inside him. He starts seeing his potential more clearly because you believe in him. If he says this to you, he's acknowledging that your presence in his life makes him reevaluate who he is and who he could become. Maybe he wants to be more emotionally available. Maybe he wants to build something more stable. Maybe he finally starts seeing the future as something worth shaping. Either way, when he says, "You make me want to be better," he's really saying, "I love you enough to evolve." 5. I'm scared of losing you. This is one of the most raw and real things a man can say, because it goes against everything society tells men: to be in control, to hide fear, to never admit weakness. But when a man truly loves you, you become more than just his girlfriend or his partner. You become his emotional home. And when he says he's scared of losing you, he's not trying to guilt you. He's revealing how deeply he's let you in. It means that your presence brings him peace, and the thought of your absence brings him panic. That's not weakness, that's vulnerability, and it's one of the clearest signs that love is running deep. 6. I want you to meet my family. This phrase might seem routine at first glance, but when a man introduces you to the people who raised him, influenced him, or helped shape who he is today, he's doing something very intimate. Men don't bring just anyone home. To him, this is a subtle but massive act of love. He's saying, "I want you to know where I come from. I want my people to see the woman I chose." He's opening up a deeper part of his world, one that's not filtered or curated, one that includes embarrassing childhood photos, stories from his past, and even family dynamics he might not love. When he says, "I want you to meet my family," he's not just being polite. He's declaring to the people who matter most, "This woman matters to me." 7. I love you in the quiet, ordinary moments. This is the one we all know to look for. But here's the twist. It's not the big romantic "I love you" that proves his heart is all in. It's the one said while he's half asleep, or when you're brushing your teeth, or while you're folding laundry, and he just blurts it out of nowhere. When a man says "I love you," not because it's expected, not because it's the right moment, but because the feeling simply overflows from him, that's the most real kind of love. It's raw, it's spontaneous, it's uncalculated. It's him saying, "I don't love you for something, I just love you, period." And when that phrase comes, not with grand gestures, but in quiet consistency, you can be sure it's the real thing. Here's what's beautiful. None of these phrases are flashy. They're not posted on Instagram. They're not written in love letters or said with roses. They show up in quiet moments, in car rides, in late night talks, in whispered conversations when the world fades and it's just you and him. And that's what makes them so powerful. Because the man who truly loves you, he doesn't always say it with fireworks. He says it with presence, with consistency, and with words that are rooted in truth, not performance. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a man say something that made you pause and think, "Whoa, he really loves me"? Drop it in the comments. I read every one, and if this video made you reflect on your own relationship in a new way, don't forget to hit that like button. It tells the algorithm this message matters. Want to know what actions men take when they're serious, not just what they say? Then stick around, because I've got another video coming up that dives deep into 10 things men only do for the woman they're planning a future with. You don't want to miss that. Until then, remember, real love rarely shouts, but if you listen closely, it always speaks.